Hey, this is Joshua, Start Series Episode 7. It's a quiet Sunday afternoon in Minneapolis. It's actually sort of nice out considering it is December 20th or something like that. It should be freezing, there should be snow on the ground, and instead it's chill and kind of gray. It's like a October day in Rhode Island, I feel like. So the Start Series is a short series of, the Start Series is a fuck, I'm totally messing up. The Start Series is a daily video blog about starting projects and making them and publishing and learning in public and stuff like that, and making mistakes like the one I just did of stumbling over a bunch of words. And I'm not going to do a second take. I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to, before I even have a chance to think about it, write a description, upload this video to YouTube, and then I will watch it after it's already live and real and public. So, and today I'm taking a walk to do this because my neighborhood is not very scenic, so at least if there's a change of scenery, it's a little bit better. So, excuse me. What I want to talk about today is another kind of excuse that can get in the way of starting things. And it's an excuse that's a question or a truism, which is, shouldn't you learn the rules before you break them? I went to art school and I teach at an art school. That's a common refrain, especially in the world of graphic design, which ties directly into a market. So there's expectations that one should be aware of the rules of graphic design and whatnot. I think that rule is bullshit and stupid. You don't need to know the rules before you break them. The rules become a set of handcuffs, and they become a status quo, a confirmation of the status quo in any given field that you need to learn the rules to break them. Because instead of figuring things out on your own, you're basically sort of following like a set of instructions for how you do everything. And so like, what would be the rules of like doing a talk like this? Like, am I supposed to write all of this down? Should I have rehearsed it first? Should I have this camera on something, some kind of steady cam idea to keep it level? What else could there be? A pile of stuff. But instead, my theory is just to start, review, and figure out what I like and what I don't like, and to continue moving on with that. To a lesser extent, I'm interested in what resonates with other people, but in general, I don't totally give a shit about that, because it's way more important to me that I make work on my terms. And the other thing is, chances are what works for me works for other people, and what I find sucky is probably sucky for other people. So one thing you don't want to do is let the notion that you need to know color theory before you start a painting, that you, to a certain extent, need the best microphone before you start recording something, that you should be able to tune a guitar by ear before you start playing a guitar. None of that is true. All of that tends to be a way for people who know how to do something, who are like dominating that particular field. They set up a bunch of artificial barriers so that you can't join the fun. Or that once you do, that you do it on their terms and in their standards. And you totally see this in graphic design. You see it to a certain extent in music. You definitely see it in film. All of these industries and fields where, like, the worst that can happen if you don't know the quote-unquote rules is you might waste some money. No one's gonna die. It's not like you're doing dentistry. It's not like you're practicing law and someone's gonna go to jail, you know. again, kind of similar to one of the earlier videos I did last week, there is no downside to just starting and getting involved and doing your thing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that needs to be said about that. The thing I will add to it is that there can be something tremendously gratifying about starting things, making your own discoveries, and then going back and reading some of the like key texts or ideas in a certain industry or in a certain field. So like for me, largely doing typography on my own for years before I had any clue like that there was even a thing called typography, and then later reading some classic book like Emil Reuter's book, Typography, a Manual, I believe it's called. When I read that book after having already been doing type-driven graphic design for years, little things that I had discovered that I didn't have a name for, now I had a name for. In addition, maybe things I hadn't figured out yet, suddenly there'd be an explanation or a rationale for something, and I'd be like, oh, that's why I can never sort of sort out that issue on my own. And I would argue that has made me a way stronger designer and creative person. I think it makes me way more qualified to teach, because I've made so many mistakes and discoveries on my own, and that I can sort of really place the blame for any success also on my own shoulders. So don't let that be an excuse. It's not any different than perfectionism. It's just another form of procrastination. Get a book on the thing once you've started, or read the book once as fast as possible and then burn it or throw it in the recycling. Get rid of it. Kind of the same with like what you should do with software. Read the manual once, ditch it. Props to Elliot Earls for that idea. All right, this is the end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them on YouTube, and have an awesome day. Bye.